Our tastes in film may seem destructive, but this is a productive dialogue. Damn it, your mother ate my dog.
Welcome to another episode of Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast. Brought to you
Hello.
by us. I don't know if you noticed, but it did count down the full 5 seconds this time.
Mm-hmm. It does whatever it likes, whatever it's in the mood for.
Do you know what I'm in the mood for?
You're in the mood for our favorite. I don't know. What are you in the mood for?
Corn.
Corn. Well, you mean the band?
No. I remember at the end of last episode,
I do.
you were like, hey, we have a special code word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess that nobody was like, hey, Jesse, corn.
Well, you would be guessing incorrectly because I did have one person say corn to me, which, by the way, confused the hell out of me because I had forgotten all about that.
Right.
Then
you got to start.
After about 2 minutes of confusion, I finally made sense. And
Gotta start writing these down, paying more attention.
I guess so. So one of the two people I expected to did actually say corn to me, and I gave them some sound life advice.
Well, last episode, episode 46, which was a wonderful movie that we watched.
Oh,
that
so
had
good.
Ghosts and riders in it. It actually did pretty well. A lot of listens. People really engaging with our product.
Yeah, clickbait them with the Nick Cage. It's easy money.
Works every time. Oh, just like this. Works every time.
Yeah, like a charm.
Okay, so we did have one corn.
We had one corn. Yep. And
Are you
one
gonna
cat.
do it? Are you gonna do it again this episode, or just
I
not
don't
bother
know.
because you'll forget? And it's just gonna be the same person saying
I'll
it.
see.
Hello to that person, by the way.
I'll see how I feel at the end.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 47.
Thank you very much. 47. I can't believe it.
This is gonna be an all-timer, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, an all-time episode. We have the corn thing. We have another segment that we're bringing back this week. Scam of the week. It's back.
Oh, yes. I love it.
And then we're going to top it off with a follower of the week.
Oh, man.
Or perhaps even a follower of the month. We don't know.
A follower in any sort of denomination of time is A-okay by me.
And then we're going to get to our movie, which was a good one.
It was.
So this week, scam of the week, we're just going to get it over with. It's been a few months since I've gotten an email from somebody looking for my help, looking to pay me an ungodly amount of money for some reason. But I have one.
Okay.
And it actually comes from an American citizen, if you can believe it.
That's new.
So it starts with, hello, dear, as they normally do.
Right.
I am Mrs. Susan Buddha Karen, Miss Karen, a citizen of Connecticut, United States of America. She didn't say states, she says United States of America, but she's presently staying in London, England.
Oh, wow. This is already quite the start.
She's married to the late, it says ENGR dot, I don't know what that means, engineer? Married to the late engineer Chalmers Karen. Chalmers for a guy name. But then it says he worked as the financial director under United Nations Development Program for Africa for more than 10 years before he died in the year 2010. So already 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We were married for 11 years without a child. He died after a brief illness that lasted for only 4 days.
Wow.
He died after a brief illness that lasted only 4 days, which I don't know what that could have been.
Whole slew of things.
I would like to recommend a better doctor, for one.
Yeah, I mean,
or at least to go to a doctor.
If you're this sort of powerful of a man, you would think you would have access to such things, but who knows?
Anyways, when he was alive, he deposited 12.5 million British pounds only with a reputable bank. And presently, this money is still with the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately for Susan, Mrs. Karen, her doctor told her that she would not last long due to her cancer problem.
Okay.
She also has a partial paralysis. But she says that she is sorry for barging into my privacy through this method, which is the only way I can reach you before exchanging further contact. Anyway, do not worry, as I have an important issue that comes to my mind, and of my wish, which I want to discuss with you, is about humanity and charity work. So it's like a job interview, I guess. Do you have experience with charity work? Can you handle a charity project? Would you be sincere and faithful if you are chosen to work for God and humanity? Can you handle the charity work of God and humanity for mankind? My spirit tells me to ask you this question. And then she goes on and says, if my answer is yes to all these charity God projects, she's willing to donate the sum of 12.5 million British pounds to me, which is her last wish. She doesn't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Kindly get back to me at my earliest convenience so that I can know about you. But she doesn't have a lot of time.
No.
So the sooner the better.
Right. It's quick action.
I should, one of these days, I should just send an email back and see what happens.
Yeah, and just see what kind of fun viruses you may sort of incur and all that sort of stuff. That would be fun.
I wonder if she copied and pasted an old email if her husband had died 13 years ago.
It seems like possible, yes. It's a lot of money. So I guess she's making sure that you are a charitable man, so that if she were to pass the money on to you, you would, put that money in a good place.
Yeah. So, okay, 12.5 British pounds. 12.5 million British pounds.
It's got to be like 40 million Canadian.
You think it's 40 million?
No, I was just throwing out a number there because our dollar sucks.
It's 20.2 million Canadian dollars.
Okay. That's quite a bit. Think of all the houses you can buy with that. I mean, donate.
Two. Yeah, 2 houses.
Yeah, 2 whole houses.
Anyways, that's what's new with me. Anything new with you?
Nothing too crazy new with me. No, certainly no. I don't know who how your email got out to all these people and how you're the target of so many of these. I'm a little jealous. No one ever emails me entrusting me with millions of dollars.
I have a kind heart.
I guess that's got to be it. You put your name, you put your email name, you put your email on some list unknowingly one day, and now it's just all coming back for your benefit, really. All the money you're making.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of making a lot of money, did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did not watch the Super Bowl.
Okay. Did you?
I know who won.
Did you watch any of the commercials?
No, not a one.
Right before we started the podcast this morning, wink, wink. I just watched them all on YouTube.
Okay.
Because, we live in Canada. We don't get the Canadian one or the American ones unless we do something illegal.
Right.
But they're all on YouTube the next day, and they were fine. They weren't great. I never laughed out loud, really.
No standouts.
No, not really.
I thought I heard there was like a Zoolander one or something. I don't know.
Well, there's a Pepsi commercial with Ben Stiller.
Uh-huh.
And at the end, he is Zoolander, because it's all about acting. So it's like, do I like Pepsi or is it just acting?
Oh, I see.
And then it's Zoolander being like, oh, it's good.
I get it. Okay.
Steve Martin did a similar one as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really into watching the game this year. I was like, I haven't really been following this year all that much anyway, so. It's like,
what did you do instead?
What did I do? I watched a TV show called Severance. Have you heard of that?
Yes, actually, we had watched, I think, the first 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stopped watching it for whatever reason. I want to get back into it. I don't think she wants to get back into it, but I thought it was good.
It is good, and John Turturro is in it. He's in this movie that we watched for the podcast, this episode. So it kind of comes all full circle. But yes,
Yeah.
it's good.
How far are you into it?
I watched the whole thing, whole season.
Oh.
Yes, I marathoned it, if you will.
Do you have Apple TV?
I do not, but I had someone, the person who actually said corn to me, it's the same person who downloaded all the episodes on a USB stick for me, and so that I could watch it.
That's wild.
He really likes the show, and he was telling me about it, and I was piqued my interest, if you will.
It's a wonderful concept, and I'm going to have to get back into it.
Yeah, I think you should.
Do you have any Valentine's Day plans?
None at all. This year we decided we're not doing anything.
Are you going to have like dinner together on Valentine's Day, which is, I guess, today when the episode comes out?
No, we hadn't planned on it. Literally nothing, just like every other day.
Do you guys normally have dinner together?
Yes, we have dinner together basically every night.
And so this night that Valentine's Day falls on, it's just going to be a regular dinner. It's not going to be special. You're not going to have like sparkling water or anything. It's just going to be regular.
Nope. Probably make some burgers. And we have some leftover mashed potatoes. Burgers and mashed potatoes. I think that'll be dinner tomorrow.
Okay. That's cool.
Sometimes you ever fry mashed potatoes as a way of reheating them?
Leftover fried mashed potatoes, sure.
Yeah, it's delicious. Tons of butter. Yeah, it's amazing. That's probably what we'll do.
I think I'll probably have rice instead of potatoes tomorrow, but
okay. Well, I'll know what to serve you next time you come over on Valentine's Day. Rice, not potatoes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that life update.
You're welcome.
But yeah, we do have a follower of the week this week. It comes in a more unique way than just me kind of looking it up at the time.
Right.
So I don't know if you saw this, but we got a message from a person. A person behind it, but it comes actually from a pin company.
I did see this.
So our follow of the week this week is the Flowhawk 1-inch pin company.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. A very nice person behind whatever company they do. They make pins.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to sell some pins. Very nice.
Yeah.
They seemed very very friendly. Perhaps they listened to an episode or two, or at least just like looked at what episodes we've done.
Yeah, I mean, even if they've just looked, that's more than I could ask for.
They even gave us a recommendation for a movie I'd never heard of before, but I looked it up and it looks like something that we would watch and maybe enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps that's on the list for a future episode.
Totally.
But yeah, Flowhawk 1-inch pin company. Give them a follow. Buy a pin, 50% off bulk orders from their Etsy.com.
I feel like if we ever did pins, I mean, they were the first to reach out. So.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I don't know how bulk we want to go, but this podcast seems like a pin, kind of a pin podcast for sure.
Yeah, you could put our logo on the pin with our little, your mother ate my dog. It could work.
Put it on your backpack.
Even if you didn't know what it was, you could just be like, it's like a hipster enough that someone would just put it on their bag just because it looked cool.
For sure, yeah. So follower of the week, very exciting.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, and you too. Thank you. Yes, I was thinking our follower, but That's okay. I'm full of thank.
Do you have anything you want to touch on before we head into our movie of the week?
No, I did maybe as a precursor to before we jump into this film, it's a bit of a change of pace, I guess. I don't know if we've really done like a serious movie like this, really.
There were some laughs.
I suppose so. But this movie like had a message.
Yeah. So obviously February is Black History Month.
Absolutely.
That's not the reason why I picked this movie. I was just looking for an iconic 1980s movie.
Mm-hmm. You picked it.
Do the Right Thing is at the top of a lot of lists for best movie, or one of the best movies of the decade. So Do the Right Thing, episode 47. You had seen this before.
Yes.
But hopefully you've forgotten everything and rewatched it and was like, oh yeah, this is a new movie.
I seem to I remembered quite a bit of it. I've also, I watched it in a film studies class, so it's not like I just watched it how you would watch any other movie. I watched it and analyzed it for, a good week in class, probably at least. So I seem to...
I'll let you do all the talking then.
Well, I don't know if we should go that far. But, yeah, I mean, most of the stuff that we analyze are stuff that, it's like, oh, how things are shot. What is that supposed to mean? And, stuff like that. Not so much like the entertainment part of it, although it is an entertaining film.
Very colorful, too.
Yes, very colorful. Although there's lots of reds and not many other colors, helping to add to the effect of it being very hot.
Right.
Heated. Yeah, see, there it is. There's a glimpse.
How did you like... I know you're somebody who really likes or dislikes a movie based on the opening credits.
Right.
How did you like Rosie Perez just dancing?
It was an interesting choice. It was like... I don't know how it was powerful. It was powerful in a way, I guess. Maybe you could sense a little frustration in her dancing, or maybe just like pure entertainment or joy. Maybe it was up for interpretation, I guess. Dancing to a pretty powerful song too, one that's pretty reoccurring in the whole thing.
This was her first film.
Really? See, I didn't even. What else has she been in?
I mean, a lot of stuff.
Really?
You ever see White Man Can't Jump?
I haven't seen it. No, I know of it.
That's a good movie. She was in The Road to El Dorado.
Oh, she played Chell.
She did play Chell.
Okay, cool. I love that movie.
She's been in a lot of stuff, but Do the Right Thing, her first role, I believe she was found by Spike Lee.
Okay.
Because she was a dancer.
Okay, cool.
She was noticed at the club Funky Reggae. Funky Reggae.
Reggae. Mm-hmm.
Reggae.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm big into fungi right now because of The Last of Us. So whenever I see G's in a word, I want to say guy.
Well, I'm a bit of a fun guy, aren't I?
Anyways, yeah, dancer. I think more movies these days should do openings like that. Just like credits and just something crazy and weird happening. Like a person dancing and changing costumes and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's a nice change of pace, I suppose.
Then it opens on Samuel L. Jackson, which I didn't even know he was in the movie.
It was cool seeing him as well. Probably got to be a fairly early film for him.
Something tells me you're probably wrong.
Yeah, it's not. You don't think it's an early film for him?
Well, it's an early film, but
that's what I said. I didn't say his first.
Okay, yeah, it's like it was his sixth film.
Yeah, it's fairly early for a man who's probably done like 150 movies or something. Well, obviously not that many, but he's been in a lot of stuff. So thank you.
Okay. Well, here let's look up Samuel.
All right.
Samuel L. Jackson
He's also a fun guy.
movie count.
Fun guy.
He has 198 acting credits.
Okay, well there you go. So 6 out of 198, certifiably early.
Not bad. This is Martin Lawrence's first movie as well.
I forgot he was in it.
You may know him from Bad Boys 1 and 2 and 3.
Is there a third one?
Well, they just came out with one.
Oh.
Bad Boys for Life, I think. Maybe there's 4?
Oh, geez. Okay. I knew of 1 and 2. I didn't know they kept going with it.
This movie also features a lot of brothers or father-son duos acting together.
Okay.
John Turturro was in this, as well as his brother Nicholas, who was just an extra.
Right.
Sal, his son, was the officer who ended up, spoiler alert, killing Radio Raheem at the end.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got. Well, thank you everyone for listening. And you meant just for that? Okay, gotcha.
I liked the movie.
Yes.
Had never seen it before. Spike Lee always intrigued me as a filmmaker. I also didn't know that he starred in this beforehand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like he produced, he wrote, he directed, he starred.
He did the whole thing.
Did not win anything for it.
No.
Sal did win, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was nominated for Best Screenplay as well.
I can see that for sure.
It did not win either of those.
No, it did not.
Here, let's see who they lost to. Sorry, I'm not prepared. 1990. Ooh, wait. Denzel Washington won Best Supporting Actor.
1990. That's got to be Glory?
89, turns out. Yeah, it was Glory.
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
It was a pretty stacked cast of characters. Denzel, Dan Aykroyd, Driving Miss Daisy, Marlon Brando, and Martin Landau.
Oh, Martin Landau in Ed Wood? No.
Crimes and Misdemeanors. Crimes and Misdemeanors, a Woody Allen movie. That's something I watched in university as well. So,
You hear that, folks? We both went to university. Yeah, I realized Ed Wood is like in the 90s, so that was a bad guess. But
Best Screenplay, 1989, Dead Poet Society won.
Okay, that's a pretty good movie.
Woody Allen also nominated for Crimes and Misdemeanors. Nora Ephron for When Harry Met Sally.
Oh.
They just don't make movies like they used to.
Yeah. What a shame. Back how they made movies before we were even born. You were almost born. Not quite.
Not quite, no. So how do you like the movie?
Well, I think it's quite good. One thing it made me think of was directors who are in the movie, like in this case, like quite a lot. But it made me think of Quentin Tarantino, because he's been in like a few movies as an actor, and he like kind of sucks as an actor, in my opinion. And in this movie, I would say Spike Lee was probably the weakest actor out of all of them. I don't know if you would agree with that.
It looked like a lot of the time he was trying to like hold back a laugh or something. I spent a lot of time looking at him during the scene. But as we'll touch on in our acting score. I don't think that was like, yeah, he wasn't really an actor. He's not really an actor at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily a negative for the film.
Yeah, it kind of fits. I can see what you mean. It was a little distracting for me, but I could just be a little nitpicky, I suppose.
No, but I get, like, my acting score was lower than the other scores.
Okay.
Because, like, a lot of first timers, a lot of actors who haven't really done much, and it kind of came across that way. But again, that probably would have made a better movie than if they had a lot of better actors in it.
Yeah, like there's maybe a bit of rawness to come from people who maybe haven't, like less experienced actors in a way.
Like Eddie Murphy's Raw, which was one of the first movies for Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go. So that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah, acting good, ending good. We'll touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to touch on that now? The middle? How's the middle?
The middle. There's a lot of things happen in the middle, I guess. There's a lot of things happening in general. It's like a big weaving of. It's like a movie about community. It's a big part of it, I guess. Obviously about race, but just like a lot. It's a big part of it was just like the intermingling of everyone's sort of storyline, sort of coming together. So it's hard to like define the middle, I guess. But it was cool seeing how all the storylines intertwined.
I think the middle was probably like Bugging Out's quest to boycott.
Right.
That's what I would say the middle was. Not that it matters. But I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Like, you see walls of people at restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, him getting mad at that. Him getting mad at there being a certain look to all the people on the wall.
Yeah.
And that causing the drama and the tension, which ended up, climacting at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really good.
Oh, big time. Yeah. It's definitely like, I guess the part that stands out the most. It would be, I guess, the main storyline is that for sure. And it was an interesting, like, I don't know, complicated sort of feud, I guess. Racially sort of fueled, if you will.
For sure. And then, like, I thought the Korean corner store,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an interesting dynamic as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, they obviously deal with race as well. And then at the end, when I guess two of the three old guys looking to riot.
Yeah.
But then the other guy convinced him not to, because they're the same. They're just the same in this big dark world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a lot of it, I guess, was maybe coming to terms with the fact that there is a lot of racism out there, and like exactly how to deal with that. If you maybe want to have an aggressive approach, which would be in this case like Bugging Out, more of an aggressive character in dealing with that prejudice, and then a character who deals with it, but maybe in a different way and less extreme. Mookie, Spike Lee's character. And so I guess maybe it's up for us to decide what the right approach is, or maybe not for us to decide, but I guess maybe it's just showing us the different sides of the spectrum,
Yeah, who did the right thing, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it was pretty interesting seeing this with as much violence, like police violence. I guess that has been a big topic of, especially over the last few years. And I mean, in this movie, Radio Raheem is choked to death by a police officer, right? So it was quite pertinent to today's goings-ons, if you will.
Yeah, this movie came out in 1989 and nothing has changed?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great movie. John Turturro as kind of a villain.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like that?
I thought it was good. I mean, I really like John Turturro. I mean, I've seen him play a villain like a couple times. I mean, he's sort of a villain in The Big Lebowski. Now, he's not really that major of a character, but he is not exactly a good guy. And also in the new Batman, the one with Twilight Man.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson.
That's the one. Yeah, he's a bad guy in that too. He's got range, and yeah, he was a standout performance for me, I thought. But I just might be just because I like him.
Have you seen the new Flash trailer?
I have, yeah.
There are many Batmans in there not named Robert Pattinson.
There are. It feels like they're sort of, I mean, this is totally has nothing to do with the movie we just watched, but it does feel like they're sort of ripping off the whole Spider-Man multiverse thing. It's like, oh, here's Batmans from other universes sort of thing, you know.
Spike Lee's favorite superhero is the Flash.
It's my favorite superhero as well. He's been, unfortunately, most modern depictions of him, like in film or TV, have been kind of crap. I mean, he was good in like the Justice League, like the animated series that I watched when I was a kid. But I love the comics. But yeah, I mean, they did him wrong. They've been doing him wrong for a while now.
This trailer kind of gives you hope, though.
The thing I didn't like about the trailer is Ezra Miller. Is that his name?
That's their name, yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's their name. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them at all. And I thought, I mean, even like the lines they had in the trailer were not good. It's like, oh boy, it was kind of cringy, but I don't know.
As a human being, they're problematic as well.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
Do you know who's not problematic?
Who?
Robert De Niro, who Spike Lee wanted for the role of Sal.
Oh.
But he was too busy.
Well, I think Danny Aiello, is that how you say his name?
I think so.
I think Danny Aiello did a perfectly fine job, but it would have been interesting to see De Niro in that role. But I think Danny's performance is one of the standout ones anyway, so I don't know. Who knows what would have happened if De Niro was in it.
It might not have been as good.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Okay, well, do you have any other notes from school you want to get to before we hit up our score, as we've talked a lot about the Flash?
The other thing I remembered was like a lot of the time the angle, like the camera angle was like tilted. It's like supposed to be like, oh, you know, everything feels like uneasy, like uneven. And like the same thing with like the heat and all that, like everything's heating up and it's unsettling and it's a unknown, I guess, reality in the city or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But there is a lot of like crooked camera angles. I don't know if you noticed those.
It was definitely, shot a little differently.
Mm-hmm. But I can't really remember. I couldn't find my notes, so that's kind of all I really remember.
Sad.
I know, right?
They say the F word 240 times, which is an average of 2 per minute.
That's a lot of times.
Yep.
It's got to be up there. And actually, no, there's a lot of movies that say the F word a lot. The F word being fun, right?
Like Quentin Tarantino, to circle back.
Exactly. He loves putting the word fun in his movies.
Okay. Good movie.
Totally.
The one issue maybe you have and maybe I have is acting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start by giving your acting score?
Sure. I mean, there was a lot of really great performances and a lot of emotion dumped into those performances. A lot of people really stood out. I really liked Radio Raheem. I mean, most of the time Radio Raheem didn't say anything, but when he finally got heated in that last scene in the pizzeria, that was pretty impressive. I like John Turturro. I really liked Giancarlo Esposito. Bugging out. His performance was really good. Over the top, but like it worked. But then, yeah, Spike Lee's performance, perhaps not so much. You could tell that he's not really an actor, and it kind of like distracted me a little. But overall, quite good. So I gave acting a 7.5.
That is insane.
Insane in the membrane.
Okay. Yes, acting. A lot of first-time actors and people without a lot of acting experience, such as your Spike Lee and your Samuel L. Jacksons, Martin Lawrence, Rosie Perez, also first time. But that kind of made this film feel more like a documentary in that way. Well, not quite like a documentary, but like less Hollywood, which I think gave it more power behind the message.
Right.
It worked for this film a lot better than probably a Robert De Niro led movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, mostly everybody, the side characters were great because it didn't seem overacted at all.
Right.
Spike Lee, maybe the worst, but still perfectly fine. Best supporting actor for Sal. I also gave it a 7.5.
Oh. Well, there you go. Now I understand your reaction.
What are the odds?
What are the odds?
Okay, I'll hit up ending first.
Okay.
And then you can give me your thoughts. I thought it was a very powerful ending.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen this movie before, but I figured that it was culturally relevant for a reason. So I figured something was going to happen. And it lived up to the expectations. I thought the ending made the movie. Without that powerful of an ending, the movie wouldn't have been nearly as... Like, it wouldn't have been a movie, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like if you think of this movie, I mean, as I do, you think of the ending most of all, I guess. And yes, it is very powerful. And even like, like the short moments after the riot scene with just Spike Lee and Danny Aiello, even that part was like, it was like quiet, like a big contrast to what the scene before, like what just happened, but it was like still powerful in its own way and like sent a message, like pretty concisely. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I have to agree. A 9 out of 10 for ending.
Uh-oh. Where's this going?
Well, who knows?
Okay, well, how about you lead us off with your score out of 10? And we'll see if we have another movie where we just thought the exact same.
Let's see. Yeah, this is a movie that I I remember fondly watching in school, and I happened to own it, so I did not need to go and rent it this time. I mean, I don't own a ton of movies, but I do own this one, and it's for a good reason. It's got a good message. It's different. It's much different than anything else I've ever seen, and uh, yeah, and it has nice tone, changes the tone throughout as well. Sometimes a bit more subdued and more sentimental, and sometimes more aggressive and powerful and stuff like that. So, yeah, overall, quite a good movie. Yeah, I think if there was going to be anything to sort of nitpick, it might be the acting. But beyond that, yeah, great movie. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. I have been kind of going back and forth on scores throughout the day. Originally giving it a higher score and then going down and then kind of meeting in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very entertaining movie from start to finish.
Yes.
We can't really say that about a lot of the movies we watch
No.
and talk about on this podcast. I enjoyed that all the action took part on one day, for the most part.
Yeah.
One hot day in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It was in a style that we hadn't really seen much of, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the story. I loved the ending. The acting was, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And I thought it was nice to look at as well. I love those neighborhood movies. I gave it an 8.75 out of 10.
Oh, okay. So slightly higher than me.
So I was going between 8.5 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, 8.75, meet in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, this is genuinely a very good movie. And it's like, I guess you could, I don't know. Sometimes if you maybe think of a movie that has the content material is like this, like, I mean, obviously it's mostly about race. You may feel inclined to give it a higher score because it's about such an important issue or whatever. But that's not why my score is so high. It's just genuinely a good movie. And then it just has good social commentary about that subject, to add on top of it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, do the right thing. 1989, you should do the right thing and watch the movie.
Yeah, I would recommend this one for sure if you haven't gotten around to it. I have the DVD. If anyone I know is listening, I can lend it to you.
Just say the code word.
Yeah, say the code word, which this week is lemon.
I feel like it should have been mashed potato, but it's fine.
No, I wanted to make it lemon.
All right, it's lemon. Okay,
Great.
well, what do you have? Do you have any sort of idea for next week?
I have like some movies in mind, but I have not come to a conclusion yet. I can throw out a couple of the ideas that maybe I was thinking about maybe watching Toys. It's a Robin Williams movie.
Oh.
It's a movie like if you saw the cover of it, you would be like, oh yeah, I've seen that cover a million times. Another one I was thinking of maybe was The Phantom. Billy Zane movie. One I was thinking of like, probably won't do. Theodore Rex. It's a Whoopi
Is
Goldberg
Whoopi in
movie.
that? Yeah.
Yes, it's a Whoopi Goldberg movie. That one is not available at Pick-a-Flick, my video rental stores. So that's probably why I won't pick that one. But yeah, those are some of the ideas. Probably by tomorrow I'll pick for sure.
All great ideas. I've seen none of these.
Well, that's great. I may very well pick one of those. I probably won't pick Theodore Rex. Like, I don't want to pick like an insanely bad movie again. I want to have one that maybe has some potential.
LL Cool J is in Toys, as is Dumbledore.
Yep, Dumbledore is in that movie. Yeah, I've seen that one like a million times. I feel like when I was a kid going into my local video store, this time being Haltane Video Store, I would see that cover all the time and be intrigued. So I feel like that's probably the front runner at this moment, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe just like give it a think.
Yep, I'll give it a think. Give it a thought. Give it a think thought.
Maybe just like ask around your apartment, see if anybody has any ideas or suggestions.
So I'll do. I'll ask the cats, see what they want to watch. There was a cat one. Oh, shoot. There was one like has to do with cats, and it has Christina Ricci in it, I think.
I'm watching a lot of Christina Ricci content right now.
Yeah.
She was in Wednesday. She's in Yellow Jackets, a show that's second season coming out soon. I'm very excited for her.
It's called That Darn Cat.
She was in Casper.
So That Darn Cat was on my list as well, but I probably won't pick that one. So yeah,
okay,
there it is. Boy, would you look at the time. We've done it again.
Yeah. Well, it's like we're so good at this now after 47 episodes that we just have a formula and it works. We stick to it. Get it out. 50-minute episodes. The people love it. What can you say?
There's not much else to say.
Well, do you just want to like stop talking then, or?
Yeah, we could. I mean, I don't know if you have anything else you want to say, or I feel like I'm all out of words at this point, you know?
Yeah, just how blessed I am to be able to get up and do this every day and talk to you people.
Very blessed. You got the whole week off, huh?
Yeah, so I watched the movie today. A rare same-day movie podcast.
That must be nice.
It is nice.
I just found a movie that I might end up picking. I'm gonna see if this video store has it. If it has it, this is what I'm picking. I've decided.
Yeah, just give it. Maybe just like sleep on it. Come back.
They do have it. Ooh, it's kind of long though.
We did just watch a 2-hour movie, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll give it a think.
Okay, give it a think.
Give it a think thought. You know.
We'll come back to this next week. Episode 48. What has Jesse found at the video store?
Yes, please do.
Meryl Streep's probably in it.
Not quite. Ow.
All right, well, Jesse and our audience, the one person who's made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for laughing. Thank you so much for loving.
And crying. And being a fun guy.
Please watch the movie. You won't regret it.
See ya.
Bye.